Hello. Nice to see you. All right. Hello and welcome. Say hello as you pop in, please. That'd be great. Hello and welcome to the month of. Hello, Larry, and hi, Paula and Christina. Lovely to see you here. Yeah. Hello, Kim. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Hello and welcome. Great to be here with you. Yeah, it's great to be here with you guys too. Where are you? Do you guys have your seatbelts fastened? August is going to be a big month. Hey, Lois. Long time no see. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to wait a minute here. Hey, Melanie. Wonderful to see you too. I just love that we can connect now from all over North America and Europe and even the um, Middle East. I had somebody from the Middle East in a consultation the other day, but yeah, China. Yeah, hi, Carol. I'm just going to chat with you guys here for a second, and then I have lots to talk about and share. Um, yeah, so conscious conversations for August. In some ways, it's like the month of the Earth Monkey. So some of you here are practitioners. Hi, Joanne. Some of you here are practitioners, some of you here are clients, and some of you I don't know. And I know many of you watch this later on different platforms and that. And so the I've been waiting for this month. And first of all, I wanted to say for all of you, it's the year of the water tiger, and now it's the month of the earth monkey. So if anybody has any, which is a clash, right? And there certainly is some doom and gloom going on out there. I have monkey and tiger both in my chart, and I'm not afraid. I'm actually excited. I am looking forward to it. And so the theme for August, let me talk about like what's going on here and why are so many people concerned. Because, well, I'm going to talk about it. The theme for August is even more change, right? And that's because I'm going to try to keep this in simple speak, but also in enough teaching, if you will, for those of you that are practitioners to be able to get something out of this too, right? There's a clash happening. And if you really want to get into specifics about what the clash is for, you guys, you have to know what palace your your chart, the animals are in that are being affected. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And which of the 10 gods. Like we can get into the specific. And so, however, here's the really big takeaway. If I zoom to the end of it all, is all these interactions that happen yearly and monthly and that. Have you ever asked yourself the bigger question? Why do they happen? Do you think they're just random there to punish us? No, they're not. They are there actually to facilitate our growth, to facilitate for us to become more conscious human beings. And not a lot of people are talking about that and combining that with metaphysics, right? Yeah, this month is one where fortune favors those with courage. Because what happens with astrology is when there's like a clash, what's the bigger picture? We should be making change in our life, right? And the change isn't about greed or lust or having more. It's actually about what do I need to change into my life to have more peace, right? To look like what changes, because as all of us know as we go through the process, yes, more money is good, but more money without a conscious purpose behind it doesn't make you happy. And so I actually think what's happening and has been happening for months and months, and not just think, I know this, is that events are happening that we see our shadow. And the shadow has to be looked at so that we can choose differently. Because how energy works with law of attraction and that is that We attract to ourselves what our vibration is. And what's happening now is the opportunity to rise to new vibrations, to rise to higher vibrations. So yeah, there's lots of expect more slowdowns. And so what happens? How does this work? So there's a lot of economic fear out there. Well, if you work through the fear and don't get paralyzed, it will take you to action. So hello and welcome. If you haven't met me before, my name is Marlyna. I'm here in Vancouver, Canada. I've been practicing and working with metaphysics for many, many, many years, like 30 to 40 years, Feng Shui specifically now for 30. And so it is a tool to teach us about energy. So what's happening collectively with this energy as we go into period 9 and as people talk about we're going into the 5D, and I'm sure those of you that are practitioners and that, are you noticing it, that the vibrations are changing, that things are happening quicker, that our thoughts are manifesting stuff more easily? And so really that's what's happening, is that we are becoming aware more and more of how powerful our thoughts are and how we are creating reality. And what's the real opportunity here is to learn to work towards love and manifest from that level and let go of the fear, right? And so because if you're manifesting from fear, I don't have enough and lack, you're going to get more of that. And this is specifically why tomorrow I'm starting this new class. Lois will post the link, but I'm starting this new class called Manifesting Magic, because we are powerful creators, but we have to learn how our mind works. We have to learn what it is we really want. We have to learn about the level of vibrations and then combine that with ritual and intention and feng shui and date selection. That to me is where real magic happens. And so if you're interested, I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But this 3-month course, we're just going to meet once a month for an hour and a half on Sundays, where I'm going to teach, we're going to go through some teachings, but then as a group, we're going to commit to rituals together. And by doing what I want, what the goal of August, this month particularly, with the portals and that, is to create new neural pathways and to release the patterns of fear and lack and unworthiness. But it's going to take some effort. That's really what's going on right now. People are waking up. People are asking different questions. Yes, this month, fortune favors the brave. So it's like, feel the fear, but do it anyways. Be bold in taking action towards aligning with your higher self. That's actually what the real opportunity this month is. We are moving into higher dimensions. So August this month of this year is the best month to make a commitment. This is the real key, to make a commitment towards creating change. And actually one of the biggest processes that we're going to go through tomorrow is actually a questionnaire to get clarity, because so many people don't have clarity. It's like you think you want a new house, but why do you want the new house? Or you think you want a new car, but really what is it you're looking for? Are you looking for peace? Are you looking, because I actually think we limit ourselves when we say it's that thing we want. And I can help you get that thing. But really what I'm more interested in is, wouldn't it be wonderful that no matter what's happening, that you feel peace and joy? Right? Yeah. So August is a month where there's the best month to implement change. And I want you to look at this month, because if you're open to change, it's going to be fun. If you're not open to change, this is going to be a tough month. And so I got tiger and monkey in my chart. It's like, okay, interesting. I am going to shake it up a bit and do some different things, right? So think of what's happening in the world right now. This is the bigger picture, that we're going through a training. We are here in Earth School, if you will. And what we're learning, and actually even with metaphysics and feng shui, is that we are creators of our lives. So what's one of the really important things for everybody to pay attention to this month? Be very aware of your emotional reactions, especially your negative ones, because what that's going to tell you about what's going to come up is that you're going to see, where are you entangled? Because anywhere, we're actually moving into quantum states of energy, right? More so. It's always been there, but our ability to manipulate them is getting more powerful, okay? And so time and space is changing. And those of you that are practitioners and work with different things, I think you've seen it. Things are speeding up, right? We don't need to deal with karma or cause and effect in the same way, if you will. we need to work with our thoughts. And we need to work with what thoughts are holding us back, what thoughts are negative, what thoughts are where are we stuck, right? So that we can create new thoughts. And this whole thing about creating new neural pathways, one of the first steps here is learning, where do thoughts come from? Where do thoughts come from? And where can we actually get to the point of manifesting? Like really manifesting the world of your desires and all that. And really, all my courses are geared towards that. And no matter what level you're at, there's some takeaways. But the deeper you get into this, you will actually find that it's easy to make money and certain things, but it's not easy to be happy. And really, ultimately, isn't that what we want, is to be happy and to work with that? So here's the wonderful thing. As long as you are willing to change, you are on the right path. If you are not willing to change, yeah, I'm sorry if there's a delay in the feed. I don't know what to do about that. So, but are you willing to change? Are you willing to be on the right path? Okay? And so, how many people, particularly since, here's the global bigger picture, since 2016, people have been changing their jobs, changing their relationships, having health issues, many different things. And part of all those events that are happening are to look at our fear and to learn to not let fear control us, right? And gosh, there's so many things out there to give us fear, isn't there? The war, the economic things that are happening, COVID, and all that stuff. And when we manifest from fear, we actually create more fear. So a lot of my processes that I'm adding in addition to the Feng Shui and astrology classes now are how to look at working with fear and how to release it. So please come to the Moon group, right? Where we do, and that's a free event for you. The next one will be on August 11th, right? Where we do a meditation and insights, but it's learning how to see your thoughts objectively and release them, and then work with the energies that are out there. So whenever we enter a room or when we wake up, that we come to it with positive energies, right? And so, yeah, we're in Earth School, and this month is one that's going to pack a lot of punch, okay? And so this month, August 7th, Earth Monkey Month, and it's interesting, all the months this year are leading Earth. So Earth, monkey is metal, so we have Earth and metal happening. So it's a supportive energy. So in one way, it's easy to say, oh, this should be a smoother month if we're just going to look at that energy. However, it's in full Fanyan clash to the year. And in the year chart, there's 3 tigers. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And how it'll affect us all specifically, different ways. But you know what? If you can start looking at, even if you have a belief that you can work with, that the world is friendly and that everything happens for you, it changes the narrative and it changes the vibration. And all of a sudden now, yeah, something might happen and you move through it and another door has opened, and in front of that door is a higher vibration of the things that you want to get, right? And so, yes, we can choose. Maybe that's the biggest takeaway this month. Do you want to suffer? Or do you want to look at it as an opportunity? Okay? So yeah, the portals are open. So in addition to the Earth Monkey clashing the Water Tiger, right? The Lionsgate portal is also opening on August 9th. And this is a Western astrology aspect. For those of you that don't know, I studied Western astrology for 20 years, Chinese astrology for almost 30 years now. So really that starts telling you that this year I'm going to turn 65. I've been doing this a long time. And between all astrology systems, you see messages that are similar and that point perhaps with specifics in a little bit different ways, okay? So the Lionsgate portal is an other, I love too, actually, as I jump around here, that each system sort of supports the other by telling you truth, okay? And so when I see that happening, because metaphysics is still dependent on the person who's telling you what they're hearing, right? And so my interpretation might be different than somebody else's interpretation. And I am definitely someone that always sees something as an opportunity. I am not going to, I realized many, many years ago, I have somewhat of an, memories from before I was born, that everything that happens to me, I choose, okay? So now the portals are opened. I've chosen to be here in the world at this time, So whereas the sun brings us life to our physical bodies, the aspect with the Lionsgate portal is an opportunity that our spiritual body is getting light. Okay? So our spiritual body is getting light, which means that there's light being cast on what needs to be seen to be released. Now, how many of you, many people have for years, are feeling a calling to live your life differently, right? This calling will get stronger this month. So the energy this month is very good for awakening and lifting your consciousness to new heights. It's a recipe for power, growth, and luck. Set your intentions. This is for everybody, for heart healing. Okay, so for heart healing. And third eye awakening. And don't be surprised, those of you that are sensitive, that you see more spiritual signs this month, okay? Like maybe visits from loved ones or messages from spiritual beings or those types of things, because this is they call it the Hungry Ghost Month, but the Hungry Ghost Month really is that the portal is open. And so many times people think when the portal's open, it's like, oh no, be afraid. Really, I'm saying walk through the portal and go talk to the ancestors of light and love that can support you. All right? So the gift of this month is to move into a better way of living. All right? And the Lionsgate portal this month is also one looking for clarity. The hexagram, so clarity will be given to you. The hexagram for this month is dispersion. So the opportunities with that as well, like, so metaphysics just gives us clues as how to work with the energy. And so there's always a global kind of clue, and then there's the individual clues. There's the possibility this month, for those of you that meditate or journal or do those types of things, to have what's blocking clarity removed. Now, this is a month of change. This month is a month of change. Are you willing to say yes to change? Because we can say, oh God, I want to be happy. Let me wake up happy. Well, if you're not willing to change, what if the answer to being happy is you have to quit your job? What if the answer to being happy is you have to do what in your heart is calling you, right? And what in your heart is telling you stop doing that? So that's one of the things too that'll come this month. It's like, please listen to the signs, because the universe is for sure talking to you. So, and look for support from others. Now, where can you look for support from others? Well, look for support from people who can help you. There's a saying, never tell your problems to someone who doesn't have the ability to change it. Otherwise, it's just gossip. It's just wasting time, right? Wasting time. So do you have a group of people that you know that can actually help you solve problems? So look for support. It's there. Make sure you look for support from the right people, not the guy next to you in the bar while you're drinking, your sorrows away, who commiserates and colludes with you. We don't need codependents here. We need people that might actually tell us the truth. All right? And so, yeah, the energy of this month, without getting huge into all the specifics, is big. All right? And it's about change. Now, it's hard to give birth, right? We're giving birth to new identities the next few years as we go through age 9. And that's why I'm actually starting this manifestation magic group too. It's like, in a group, imagine, look at the first program is just 3 months, right? Imagine if a group of people, if we commit to doing every month a change. Now, we can say that. And how often do we do New Year's intentions or different intentions and we blow them off? So part of the reason that I created this group is that you make a commitment, even if it's just part of a group. Nobody's going to be doing your homework, but it will help strengthen that muscle inside of you that blows away self-improvement, right? It's like, that's why things like Weight Watchers and all those things work, is because when you're part of a group. That's why I'm creating this group. It's not so much even to make money. It is to support you as a group. But having said that, there isn't what I think is a nominal fee. It's $98 for 3 months. But it's to, if you don't have something invested in it, are you going to actually make a commitment? All right. So what's happening now with the metal energy, well, specifically with the monkey in this clash, is we are given the opportunity to wake up, right? To wake up. But what we're waking up to is that we are the creators of our own lives, that our thoughts are things. And so if we buy into the fear of the world, see, this is where we're really learning to watch our thoughts. We're going to stockpile toilet paper. We're going to stockpile food because we're in fear. Do you actually trust that you can create the life of your dreams? Because that's actually, that type of fearlessness has a vibration. And the higher a vibration, you know this from Chi Men and all the practices you do, you have to get to a point where you are neutral, but in your heart. So when we are, what we're waking up to is the fact that everything is energy and that we can choose what we want, and we can certainly choose to be happy. And when we decide to learn how energy works, we can change our lives. So yeah, many of you know I'm an expert in astrology, but astrology is just a tool. The cycle of the moon is just a tool. But when you know how to work with energy in space and time, the opportunities in this lifetime are to release your old karma. So how many of you feel that in this lifetime, especially those of you say you're over 45, that negative events kind of keep on repeating in certain patterns, right? Sort of the same type of negative issues and whatnot. And we always think the issue is outside of us. Well, what I'm going to tell you is that if you were to do a rebirthing ceremony or something where you go into your past lives, you're going to actually see that there's been a theme for many past lives where we repeat the same patterns, right? So, for instance, what it could be is if I have a belief that I'm not worthy of love, then I will have opportunity after opportunity to think that that's true because I'm actually creating it in my life by the people that I feel let me down. But what I see is that that is not a true belief. I'm just holding on to a thought. And if I choose that I am worthy of being loved, this is what I've been doing now for years, and I definitely have the results in my life in many different ways. I've very much healed my family with my children in that relationships. But when I choose I'm worthy, the world has to conspire. That's how energy works. But our subconscious beliefs are running the show. Not our conscious beliefs, our subconscious beliefs. And our subconscious beliefs come to us from past lives, our childhood, many different, our DNA, different things. So our souls choose the blueprint of the chart that we're born with in this lifetime, which represents a vibrational pattern. So for some it's easier to make money, for some it's easier to have relationships, but we all have work to do and to heal. And then that pattern repeats. We transcend the chart when we learn how to work with it. And by transcending the chart, I think everybody is deserving of having enough money to live well, all right? Enough money for happiness. I think that varies for different people. But we can all have happiness. We can all have enough. We can all have people in our lives. But it's coming to the realization that we're part of the solution, all right? And bringing that. So, yeah, if you come to a class, you know, you can do it on your own, right? You can come for a reading. But one of the things that I know for sure is when we join together, and this is why I started the Moon Group, and this is why I'm doing this other thing as well, is when we join together in groups of like-minded means. Have you ever gone to a retreat and come away from the retreat, a good retreat, with your heart just burst open because more people had that intention? Well, that's the intention here, is to find people who are committed to raising their vibration and using metaphysics to lead a better life. So here's August opportunity. It's the biggest month of the year to step into your power and to make a commitment to raise your vibration. Okay, and you can do it however you want to do it. Work with the moon cycles, do different things, but that's what's happening. So let's get into the different signs a little bit. So for this little bit of knowledge here that I'm going to give you just about the signs and whatnot, you need to know your day master. Okay, and your day master is on your Chinese astrology chart, and it is the top part of the day. Okay, the top part of the day. So it could be wood, it could be fire, it could be yang or yin wood, yang or yin fire, yang or yin earth, yang or yin metal, or yang and yin water. Okay, and so what happened? Why is astrology cool? astrology is cool because each month, the vibration of the month and the year combine to hit our chart, and a new opportunity comes up. Now, when you know about metaphysics, you can work with it, right? And so, for instance, I am a metal day master, and so this is the Earth Monkey Month, which is Earth and Metal. So I'm working with what they call resource and friend element. And so whatever those represent are the opportunities that will come up for me this month. Okay, so there's important to look at it that way. And so let's just go through the different day masters and see what could be coming up for you, all right? So if you are a wood day master and it's Earth Monkey Month, wood, the earth on top is wealth element, okay? So for all wood day masters, let's just get into this bit first. There's the opportunity, there'll be more money. Now, this is also very general, right? Because strong and weak and all those different things does make a difference. But in general, for wood day masters, there are wealth opportunities out there. And the wealth leads, because earth to you is wealth and the metal is influence, that the wealth opportunity can come with more responsibility. So more responsibility could be a promotion, right? Could be a promotion. It could be for women, potentially you meet someone, too, because metal for women is the husband or boyfriend element. So if that's important to you, go out there and do some dating or stuff, right? But primarily, if money is a concern for you and you are a wood day master, go out this month and be alert to opportunities where you could make more money, and that's going to lead to more responsibility. All right. Now, if you're ready for that, this is the month to do it, right? Fortune favors those who take action. If you are a fire day master, okay, so if you're a fire day master, the elements of earth monkey are output and wealth, okay? So the earth and the metal create what we call output and wealth. So I'm just going to focus mostly here on money because this conversation could go on for hours otherwise. And stay tuned because my plan is to post a lot more stuff onto YouTube that will be free, talking about different ways of looking at astrology and things like that. Just because I think it's so valuable to understand how to work with energy. I mean, my book is called Do You See What I See? Because if you see the world as energy, okay, so this is such an important takeaway. If you see the world as energy, you will never live your life the same. And the biggest takeaway of that is what you give, you get. So everything is energy. And the energy mostly that you see outside yourself is dependent on what you're putting out. But each month gives you opportunities, right? So, and it's kind of like, I always use the analogy of gardening. When you plant a seed at the right time, you're going to have a good crop. Okay, so wood day masters, focus on working harder this month, and that could lead to a promotion for you, right? This is the month of the year that has the biggest opportunity for you to do that. Fire day masters, you should be focusing on creating content that you will be selling, okay, because it's output to wealth. So this is a month, but wealth element is an element you control. You should be working hard this month. So this is a bit tough in an August month, which is holidays. This is really not the month to take holidays and to relax. This is a month where you should be pumping it out with work because the universe is listening. It's kind of like, here's this Wi-Fi signal out there saying, oh, okay, day masters, here's your opportunity. And because this is a month where the portals are more open than usual, your activities have more of a chance to bring you results going for years and years forward than if you wait. Because what's going to happen, and I learned this about energy a long time ago, and many of you here I'm sure have this, have you ever had a sign, like a really clear sign that you should go do something, like the universe, your angels are talking to you or your guides are talking to you and somebody's clearly trying to give you a message. And I know in the beginning when I started working with energy, when I asked for a sign, I'd get it really clearly. Now that I work with energy a lot, when I ask for a sign, the message I get more is, you already know what to do. You already know what to do. We're not going to help you as much unless you help yourself. We're going to wait for you to start. So in the beginning, when you work with energy, the universe is very kind, God, whatever you want to call it. It gives you lots of opportunities. But those of you that are light workers, right, and we're being asked to wake up, you have to initiate the process because it's waiting for you to start. This is, you can get help, but you got to be part of it. So Fire Day Masters create content. Um, you might be focused. So the distraction could also be your children want to spend time with you because output is children. Now, I had somebody say to me years ago, success depends on how ruthless you are. And I don't like the word ruthless, but I understand it now differently. What does ruthless mean? How focused. If you allow yourself to see all kinds of shiny balls, right? Like if your mind is not disciplined, you're not going to have success. If your mind, because your mind creates your actions, right? So, anyways, Earth Day Masters. It's the earth element on top is companion and output element is at the bottom. So if you're a strong day master, you're not going to like the earth so much. But so you have to be diligent because there's a lot of people around you. There's a lot of social engagements. There's a lot of things happening. And also be mindful, the month starts August 8th, right? So the month hasn't started yet. We still got 2 days left before the month starts. But there's companions around you. If you're a weak day master, it's a great time to work with people to create a project. But if you're a strong day master, it needs to be a short-term project. But the output element means you're collaborating to make ideas. You're collaborating to, because the output could turn into wealth for you. So you're brainstorm with people you know. So make sure you find good people to ask. And that's actually one of the biggest keys of success in life is finding people who can help you. And now help doesn't mean they necessarily hand you money. And this isn't just for the Earth Day Masters, this is for everybody. Help could be also that they have advice or things that they can show you that helps you. The Metal Day Master is resource and companion. So resource in this case can be make your systems better, become more efficient. Anytime we use the resource element, we are improving. It could be a mentor, that's absolutely right, find a mentor. But it could also be resources, make your systems better, make the environment better, support yourself. So that could even be buying computer gadgets, could be fixing your home up to support you more. It could be feng shui, it could be with a person, but it is about fixing things to be more efficient, right? However, and then that's going to turn into companion element, which is curious here because it means perhaps a collaboration coming up or whatnot, but there will be people around you. Now this is where, if you know you're a strong day master and companion element isn't that good for you, say like what we call not good, now you have to be strategic because you are conscious, you are not unconscious. So you can choose who you hang out with, who can help you get ahead. Or you can choose how long you hang out with different people, right? And so this will all turn into something where your position in society or different things gets raised and improved. Water Day Master has the influence and resource element happening. Okay, so influence and resource. So what's happening there is your ability, you need to take control of what's going on in your environment. So for water people, this is actually quite important because water people tend to be scattered. They tend to, because how do you tell water to stop flowing, right? Like water people are over the place. And so the influence element is earth to water. So it's trying to control it, which often they just rebel against because they don't like to be controlled. Yet this can improve your life because it's influence coming with resource. So if you allow yourself to be focused, this can turn into an opportunity where your living situations or your actual overall life or education opens up or different things. Yes, absolutely. All right, so then the animals this month. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about the animals. Okay, I'm not going to get into a huge thing with all this. For sure, this month, if you have monkey or tiger in your month, and actually, or anywhere, if you have monkey or tiger in your chart, you are going to be the most impacted by the energies of this month. Okay, and so it could come as, so here's really the good, especially either or, actually. I think if you have monkey or tiger, it's about change. You already know what in your life needs to change. So how do you get ahead of this, right? So say if you know your health needs to improve because you feel some health issues, go do actions towards that. Because the universe is so listening this month, if you don't take action when you know you should, don't be surprised then if you get something like a wake-up call is then going to come that's not necessarily pleasant. That's how I see the negative aspects of this showing up. But if you know, like say you have monkey or tiger in your hour pillar, and I know I'm talking to many of you that are more seasoned in your understanding of it, looking at astrology. If I have monkey in my hour, okay, and tiger on my day, so the clash could be between my children or people that work for me. So that means then I have to take control or talk about if I control it and make the changes won't happen to me unexpected. I already know what do I want? What am I achieving? How do I want to achieve that? Yes, right? So if you know where they are, expect change this month and act on it, okay? The snake and the rat and the dragon all have what we call is a combination happening to the monkey. Okay, they all combine to the monkey. So combinations we often think are great, but they're more actually combinations bring opportunities just as much as clashes can bring opportunities, right? But you're going to feel when a combination comes, it's like somebody wants something from you or an opportunity comes along that it's here, which is great. Are you ready to say yes to the opportunity, right? And most people don't want change because even a combination can be changed. They want things to stay the same. Well, this moving forward, this life is not going to be the same. The next 3 to 4 years are bringing, the world is changing, okay? And so this is the month to start to change. So snake, rat, and dragon, the opportunity that comes to you with this is likely a positive one. Are you ready to say yes? And don't, the other thing too though, is say you've made a goal this month of things you want to do. What could happen because the month is combining with you is that the combination distracts you from your goal. Okay, so you still have to stay focused. The best way to use a combination is to go look for people who want to help you because they're out there. All right. The rooster and the dog also have a type of combination with the monkey as a seasonal combination. And so if you have rooster or dog in your chart anywhere, yes, opportunities could come to you. It could be in different ways. And again, this is very general, guys. But with an opportunity, like this is a metal opportunity, right? It's like, what is it to your day, master, which we talked a little bit about before. But when an opportunity comes, often too, it's like, how many times are you ready to do something even though you don't want to do it, right? It's like, it's like exercise, I'm going to say this is a month to push yourself out of your control zones, especially. So snake, rat, dragon, rooster, dog have the most favorable opportunities to move with this energy in a positive way. The snake, likely this month is going to have a bit of a challenge. It has what we call a destruction element. Now, remember what I said is with this wake-up call, everything is happening for us, not to us. So if we see it that way, okay, so the snake is going to experience abandonment or rejection this month. Well, I don't think that can happen unless you have a situation that you're not taking care of. The snake has a tendency to become a bit resigned. Just like the snake will sit there in the corner and it waits and waits. It needs to be motivated. And what I'm going to say to you is probably this year, you haven't been giving it your all. You haven't been giving it your all. You've been a little bit, this tiger isn't my favorite year. I'm not liking all this stuff. Well, if you're not taking responsibility for who you are, you're going to experience abandonment and rejection because people are going to have enough. So part of this is then, okay, take a deep breath, recognize what your behaviors have been that haven't been serving you, and step up and, all right, become part of the solution, and you will be fine. This is not a month for you, if you have snake in your chart, to quit your job. All right, unless you have another job lined up, but you're going to feel like it. The tiger has the clash this month to the monkey, right? And so I would say if you have tiger in your chart, do be a bit careful with your travel, even with monkey in your chart. Don't rush. Take your time. If you're traveling, if you have to travel, especially with air flights and things like that, expect with those two signs in your chart, you're going to have problems. Okay? So just allow enough time for connections and all those different things, and pack enough food and things in your bags, because it's not going to be smooth sailing for you. Now, you can react to that with a, oh no, or you can react to that with a, what's this showing me that's not working? See, if we set intentions every day, let this be a day where I learn something that helps me get ahead. If every day we did that, the world the world conspires to give you what you intend. So if you wake up and go, okay, I'm ready to handle this, right? The world will bring you positive ways to deal with this. Okay, so the pig, who is best friends to the tiger, is this month being clashed by the monkey. Okay, so there's a clash happening. So what that feels like is your best friend has been taken away from you. And so if you have pig in your chart, what that's going to bring up for you is I'm not good enough, I'm undervalued. Well, that can't happen unless you actually aren't giving it your all. So pig is another sign too that tends to not be the hardest working sign. There are exceptions to the rules, of course. And this might be a month where I would suggest work a little bit hard. If you're afraid, if you're at risk of losing your job, okay, and so for some of you signs as well, right? We're moving into a time. See, we're being asked to become authentic human beings with our lives, right? Taking responsibility for who we are. So some months for some animals are going to bring us easy interactions, and some months for some animals are going to be a little bit more difficult. And the snake and the tiger and the pig have a bit more difficult ones this month. And the snake and the tiger combined as well have what's called an ungrateful punishment. Now, the ungrateful punishment, I love what one teacher said to me, is when you stop being ungrateful for your life, the world will stop being ungrateful to you. That simple. That's how you turn these around. When you can start being grateful for everything and working with it. And then I saw, wow, that's so true. I sometimes think that I have a half ingratitude in my chart. And until I learned differently, I thought people didn't appreciate me. But then I realized I was the one not appreciating. As I turned that around, guess what? The reflection back to me is people appreciate me. Yeah. All right. If I haven't mentioned the animal, it's because you're neutral to the year, to the month. Okay? Now, the reason August is a special month as well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the flying stars here, okay, is because this month, flying stars is about an 800 to 1,000-year-old system of feng shui that is really arguably one of the most practiced, it's the most practiced formula school out there by millions of people. And it's amazing, actually, you know, like by taking a compass direction of a building and knowing the time, it sets up a chart, and I am able, just by the compass direction, to see if the house supports people for money, if the house supports people for relationships, and what sectors are the best, and all those things, right? Well, this month is a very, very powerful month because the monthly star is doubled up with the annual star, okay? So for some of you that means nothing, but for some of you, you understand what that is. And so it's intense. I'm going to tell you the biggest takeaway with this is if you know your gua number, this month, the sector of your gua number in your house, pay attention to the feng shui, activate it, find good days and do that, right? And I'm going to give you a day at the end here to activate that, if you will. But even now, like if your gua number's 4 and in the southeast, take a real good look at that sector, because these sectors are energetically your Wi-Fi signal to the universe that says support me, right? So you have a personal sector, and really what I want to do is activate you, and probably the best thing to do is, regardless, is to do a water activation in your sector this month just for 2 hours. It's like acupuncture. What we're trying to do is get the, if your intention is to raise your vibration and have a better life, all right? Because and there's, that's particularly, I would say, the best intentions to work with this month. We can activate for money and different things if you know how to do that. But the specific energy of the month is because of they're powerful, they're strong. All right. So I would say within that, the best sectors, if you want to just know what's the best sectors of the house, really, and it depends on your personal gua, but the sorry about that. I got distracted here. I have to turn off my notifications. The I personally am going to be spending time in the south, if because the 9 stars doubled there. It's a very, very positive sector. Okay, one of celebrations, if you will, or one. I'm just going to go into just a general thing. Star of happiness, is in the south. And by spending time or working in that sector, you can attract more people to you. The 8 being doubled in the northeast isn't necessarily, though, the easiest combination because the image is of 2 mountains stacked, right? And so it's slow. And it's kind of like you climb one mountain and then there's another mountain. However, if you are persistent, the northeast is also good because there's hidden treasures there, if you will. But it's not a fast energy. If you want fast, you should be using the south or the north, okay? And so the water in the north is also a very good energy for networking. So spending time in the north is good for networking and increasing your network and increasing your people that you know, if that's a goal, But I would say if you don't have specific goals, and I'm actually going to go more into goals tomorrow in the class, but if you don't have specific goals, just activate your gua, okay? Now, if you need more, though, if you need more confidence in making decisions, use the northwest, okay? And so if you need more self-discipline, use the northwest, right? However, if you feel that there's too much discipline in your life, don't use the northwest, right? But the 6 this month is about discipline. I can go through which each one is. So the 9 south is about happy events and fame and opportunity. So if you want more of that, that's the south. The 2 is in the southwest. And that's a tricky star, like some really go, oh, it's negative, people shouldn't use it. However, what I'm going to say, 2 is also, though, the strongest wealth star that we've been using in period 8, used by many, many. The sickness only happens if the forms outside are not good, or if you are actually stuck and not willing to get unstuck. Because the 2 is actually a stagnation star, but it accumulates. So hence it's a wealth star, right? So it's very usable if you know how to use it. But if you have health issues, do not use the 2 in the southwest. The 7 in the west, it's a past timely star, but it's good for communication. And it's good for, it's actually a metaphysical star. So if 7 is a star that combines with you and is your gua number, you should be working. But 7 is also about communication, right? Communication. If you're not good at communication, what are you going to have? An argument. All right. Now, I actually think we're here to master all the stars. So I use all the palaces depending, and I note the results of what's happening when I'm sitting in different sectors or, using different doors or things like that. Oh, if I'm having arguments, that's because I have to learn to be more diplomatic, right? Because that's the biggest thing that's happening now moving forward with energy is learning how we are part of the equation. I talked about the 6 in the northwest. That's about discipline and decision making and power. The north is number 1 is water, and so it's good for education, expanding your network, and it's actually a star you could use if you want to have relationships, an intimate relationship more of, but it could be because the water has no depth, it's a very deep, never-ending water, it can bring love-related entanglements. Okay, so just be aware of that. The east is the argument star, 3. Many, many call it the argument star. It's actually the star of negotiation. If you need practice in negotiation, use the east. If you need communication, use the east. If you're arguing, don't use the east. Now, if you study feng shui, you know there's remedies we can use. We can use the 5 elements. We can use different things, and that's actually, um, yeah, something for you to consider is to learning feng shui so that you can do more. And then southeast is academic and peach blossom star. So peach blossom is also attractiveness and people like you. You don't want to be around you. Okay, I want to keep this under an hour. This month, there is a particularly very good day on, where do I have the date here? The 23rd is a good day for an activation. And do I have another one here? Actually, just hang on a second. Yeah, the 23rd, and the other one is the 13th. My two favorite dates for this month are the 13th and the 23rd. Now, yes, it depends on many different things, but say next week, Saturday on the 13th, if nothing else, go to your Gua sector and clean that area out and fill it with the intentions of your desires. All right. And yes, you could put water there as well. Do I have a time here? 11 o'clock. Yeah, at 11 o'clock. And so you could put water there for a couple hours, but still also don't do an activation unless you have some type of intention. All right, in the sense of what is it you're wanting to bring more of in your life, the more clarity. And if you don't have clarity, I mean, join us tomorrow. We're going to go through that process in a fairly long, intensive questionnaire. Right? What is it you actually desire, and what's underneath that? So I'm going to be using the 13th and the 23rd, even though they're Earth Dog Day and Earth Monkey Day, they're Earth, to activate my Gua. Okay? Yes, my Gua. You can put water there for 2 hours. Yes. All right, I have a couple. One intention could be, may I have the eyes to see the best in people. Like, wouldn't it be nice to see the world as a friendly place? May you have the heart that forgives the worst. Like, everybody has a story. Everybody has a story, and this is so true. You are 100% responsible for 50% of every situation. You are part of the equation. And when you start asking, why did I choose this? It changes how you see things. So may you have a heart that forgives. May you have a mind that forgets the bad, right? And may your soul remind you daily to have faith in the light and goodness of all things. All right. So I have three announcements, I guess, right? The moon circle is August 11th, and moon circle is going to be super fun because we're going to work with your soul tarot number, and we're going to do a meditation where your soul gives you a message, and then we're going to do the sound bath with Yuko for that message to really get locked in. All right, and so I'm really excited about that. We're just going to have some fun with our soul cards. You'll figure that out by a calculation, and there's a message for each of you. And the whole purpose with the whole on the 23rd, I got a sec. You know what? Avoid. I'm going to use the 23rd. I would say, unless you know it's a clash to the year, use the 13th. Sorry, is what I should say. Is use the 13th primarily. Okay. Thanks for asking, Patricia. So I can do the 13th at 11 o'clock, and then if I have another date, I will, actually you could do the 21st at 9:30, and you can put water there. The 21st at 9:30. Oh, hang on. Both of those are for south. The one on the 13th is for your Gua, sorry. And this one here on the 21st is to activate the south with water at 9:30. So I could have been more organized. All right. Moon Circle, August 11th. It's going to be lots of fun, and it's free. And I think we have figured out all our Zoom problems. So hopefully we had 250 registered for the last one, and the room only let 100 in. So I think we fixed that. A Manifesting Magic starts tomorrow. This is a 3-month program. We are working with the metal element specific to your day masters. Okay? And there's going to be rituals. I'm going to teach you the 369 ritual tomorrow. And then on September 9th, Rise Up and Finish Strong is an all-day workshop for the last 5 months of this year, what you can do. And I'm going to be also talking about that as to what do we need to do to get ready for period 9, right? Like rise up and finish strong, and really should say, and get ready for period 9. So that's on September 9th. So those are the 3 things that are coming up. The rest of the month for me is one where my practitioners in the mastery program, we have 6 days of online classes coming up. I'm super excited about that, to take these girls and men and women through the next stages. Yeah. And for me, I have double clash happen. Actually, my whole chart is clashing. My luck cycles, my different things. And so sure, that if it has brought me opportunities to deal with karma, with people that I love, that in the past maybe weren't handled well. It's helped me deal with karma to release beliefs that I'm not worthy, that life is hard. It's allowed me to get into meditation, right? All these things. It's just been, the clashes are a gift, right? And so I can tell you, we can make it through and improve our lives by working with them. And so that's actually, I guess that's why God gave me a chart with lots of clashes, is that I'm one that can tell you, you can still make your life better no matter what. Because sometimes you get a reader, there are some Asian readers particularly, like, oh, they look at your chart and it's like, oh no, or oh, rah. To me, everything is an oh yes. How can we work with this? Because you chose it, your soul chose it. So remember this, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by action becomes reality. So join me tomorrow and in the upcoming classes if that's something you want. And otherwise, just come here and say hi. Yeah, thanks, Lois, for that. And if there's any questions here, I can take a couple of questions. And then I just wish you all a beautiful August. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you how you do. Drop us a line if you want to, just connect. Hey, Sandra, nice to see you. Crazy. Yeah, you too. Hey, yeah. Fun. Yeah, you're very welcome, Sandra. Nice to see you. Yeah, we all know about clashes, like we all go through clashes. There are opportunities, but there's some of the ancient metaphysics. I think there's a couple reasons why they keep us all 9:30 a.m. a.m. Yeah, a.m. Why would you see? I think there are people in power. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because but I am someone who is aware. All right. And I know that people in power are aware that they can manipulate us if we're in fear. Well, so stop doing the things that make you fearful. Stop listening to the news. Go look at flowers. Go hang out with positive people, right? That's the goal here. And my goal with you is to use metaphysics to take you out of fear and into manifesting your best life. Right? Yeah. Well, thank you all very much, everybody. It's been my pleasure to be here with you all. I look forward to reading your messages. I read them all later, and if I need to, I will reply. And we will see you all again soon. See you on the 11th at full moon, and many of you, actually, we're over 60 for tomorrow so far, so that's exciting. And yeah. All right. Bye-bye.